afternoon, everyone. Today we have the Republican candidate William Weld and Democratic candidate Tim Ryan with us to talk about their campaigns for the 2020 presidency.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Let's get right to it. Today we're here to discuss the important issues at hand and your standpoints to help better the country. Before we get started, why don't we get to know the candidates a little better? Weld, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi there. My name is William Weld. I held the position of the 68th Governor of Massachusetts from 1991 to 1997 and served as a legal counsel to the U.S. House Judiciary Committee during the impeachment inquiry of President Richard Nixon. I ran as the vice presidential candidate under Gary Johnson on the Libertarian ticket for the 2016 presidential election, and I have recently grabbed headlines for joining the board of directors for a marijuana corporation. I am an attorney, a writer, an unapologetic Grateful Dead fan, and I am the first Republican to challenge Donald J. Trump for the 2020 presidential election.
Very nice. Ryan, how about you?
Hi, everyone. My name is Tim Ryan. I would like to call myself a family man. I have a beautiful wife and 3 children who have been my supporters from the start. From 2001 to 2002, I was a member of Ohio's State Senate. Since 2003, I've been a U.S. representative for Ohio's 13th District. I am an attorney who is ready to stand up and fight for this country.
Thank you both for sharing with us a little about your backgrounds. I would like to get into the topic of healthcare and where you both stand on such an important matter. Well, you may start.
I support increased Medicaid access. Before Medicaid expansion was available to the states, I petitioned the federal government as governor for additional Medicaid funding for Massachusetts. Having proper health care for low-income families and individuals will help people tremendously.
Thank you, Mr. Weld. Ryan, your turn.
My position on healthcare, as we grow more knowledgeable of the policies, I want to expand on it. I was a founding member of the Medicare for All caucus in the House of Representatives. I am also a strong advocate for stronger mental health support. Everyone needs support with it, and bettering with policies will be implemented.
Next, let's talk about immigration.
I oppose Trump's deportation policies and support some form of legal status for undocumented immigrants living in the United States. I have been very critical of Trump's rhetoric around immigration. I have supported federal government issues for more H-1B work visas, as I believe it is imperative for the U.S. workforce to stay global and economic.
Previously, I have voted in favor of the 2006 Secure Fence Act, which built significant amounts of walls and barriers along the U.S.-Mexico border, but I do not support Trump's infatuation to build a wall. I also want a permanent solution for recipients of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program.
We have had huge debates about abortions. What is your position on abortion?
I have fought to remove anti-abortion language from the Republican Party platform in the 90s to the dismay of social conservatives.
As I said previously, as I learn more and more on health systems, with that being said, and despite my Catholic upbringing, I support pro-choice and legal access to abortions.
What is your position on the LGBTQ debate?
I support gay marriage and LGBTQ rights. I signed the amicus brief to overturn California's Prop 8, which outlawed gay marriage.
I was the original co-sponsor for the Equality Act, which seeks protection of the LGBT community from discrimination of any sort. I support the Safe School Improvement Act, which combats bullying and discrimination for LGBTQ individuals in school districts across the United States.
Since Mr. Ryan mentioned schools, let's now talk about your standpoint on education.
I want to push for a smaller federal footprint in K-12, which includes eliminating the U.S. Department of Education. Previously, I've signed the state's landmark Education Reform Act, which sought to bolster standards and accountability while providing a substantial boost to public school spending. It would be madness to eliminate standardized testing.
I am a firm believer in tuition and debt-free college. Colleges should be an opportunity for all, not just for the privileged. I would love to improve the overall health within schools. Schools currently have little to no healthy meal plans. I would like to introduce a bill to allow more salad bars in schools. Let's be honest, a child's first choice may not be salad, but if they have the option to have a salad, at least we're giving them that opportunity. I also believe in stricter accountability for charter schools. I want to also increase grants for recruiting women and minorities to pursue education in STEM fields.
Now let's talk about foreign policies. What is your position on foreign affairs and policies?
I support non-nuclear proliferation efforts and support closer ties with Canada and Mexico. I am a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, and I have called for U.S. to form closer ties with Mexico and Canada in order to address security and economic challenges.
Previously, I have backed policy proposals to combat Chinese currency manipulation. I believe the Defense Department contracts need to be U.S. based so that the tax dollars aren't just serving a great national purpose with our defense industry and our foreign policy and hard and soft powers, but I'm also creating jobs in areas that need job creations to happen. I also believe that we need to push for strong and cooperative alliances with NATO. I believe in negotiations to benefit the U.S. workers and companies.
Speaking of taxes, what's your view on the current tax plan we have set?
I support cutting taxes and reining in spending. I oppose Trump's tariffs. As a fiscal conservative, I reined in spending and cut taxes around 15 times and vetoed minimum wage hikes. I believe Donald Trump's tariffs would damage the world economy. In 2016, I pledged to cut the federal government by 20% to reduce waste.
In 2017, I voted against the Republican tax cuts. I think the United States calls for a more simplified tax code. The Democrats can't just be the party of redistribution of wealth. We've got to be the party of creation of wealth.
Everyone around the country is talking about the legalization of marijuana.
Yes! I support the legalization of marijuana. I'm on the board of directors for a marijuana corporation.
I completely support the full legalization of marijuana.
Well, folks, that's all we have time for. Would you guys like to say any last words?
One of the functions of government is to act as a safeguard, not just of property, but of all of our liberties. I think government has a major role to play in helping us with the pursuit of happiness.
My goal is not that Americans will become a perfect nation. My goal is that America will be a kinder, more compassionate nation. It's time for the U.S. to start building the America we deserve. An America that invests in public education, Affordable Care Act, and the economy that works for all of us. An American united by a shared vision for our future.
As you can see, these candidates are well on their way to helping bring America to where they need to be. See you both at the voting polls, and thank you everyone for tuning in this afternoon.